Welcome back, our YouTube small but oh so growing community of YouTube followers. Well, here we are, and by the time you see this piece, we are going to be rounding the corner towards the end part of April. And remember, we talked about April showers bringing May flowers. We made flowers and all kinds of stuff, right? In a boat, pirate boat. Well, sure enough, yep, we are about to have showers. And so, in keeping with this spring transition and what happens in this area, well, not just this area, this is not unique to us, but spring showers. So today's stories, I have 3. Really, that's not quite true because, of course, it's Poetry Month, and I have a new poem for us today. A poem in your pocket is a good thing to have. I have a story called The Rain Came Down by David Shannon, and what a calamity this rain creates in this town. Well, the people create the trouble. The rain serves as the backdrop, okay? And then, lastly, very excited, I went down to our local bookstore here in Sweet Belgrade. Shout out bookstore down in the village. Yes, it's you. And they had this perfect book called Rain, story by Linda Ashman, and pictures by Christian Robinson. And it is a sweet story about making sure that you present your best self because it affects people around you. Just this sweet little book does that, okay? All right. So, I don't want you to see the craft. It's never you mind. It's over here for a reason. Okay, nope, it's going to stay right here. So, don't look down. All right, okay. So, our first piece is Poetry Speaks to Children. I talked about this book last week. I really like it. And so, this piece is about what definitely happens to me kind of all year round, but also, many people have spring allergies because the things start to bloom, and right? Okay. So this poem is entitled Sneeze by Maxine Kumin, and it says on this little piece that's hard for you to see, it says read by the poet. Well, again, what that means is on this CD that's attached, you're going to be able to hear Maxine Kumin read to you her own work. But for today, you have me. Okay, here we go. Sneeze. All right, we all know this feeling when it's just right there at the edge of your nose and it's tickling and wriggling and going crazy, and you have to sneeze, but it just won't happen. There's a sort of a tickle the size of a nickel, a bit like the prickle of a sour, sweet pickle. It's a quivery shiver, the shape of a sliver like eels in a river. A kind of a wiggle that starts as a jiggle and joggles its way to a tease, which I cannot suppress any longer, I guess, so pardon me, please, while I sneeze. And finally, right, the little guy's been wiggling his nose, trying to get that itchy feeling out. And finally, it's like, achoo! And out it came, and then he gets a break from all the wiggles, okay? So again, another wonderful, wonderful poem from this book, Poetry Speaks to Children. And I am going to return it to the library today. So I encourage you with great vigor, check out our poetry section, both for adults and also for children, because it's National Poetry Month, y'all. Okay, there's that. All right. Okay, now I didn't bring our bell today. Well, okay, I think we can get over it, but let's just find our spot, okay? So I'm switching directions because this is it's not a long book, but it's our longer read today. And this David Shannon that wrote this book, take note, of course we will, of the beautiful artwork, because he was honored as somebody that did such a great job with his pictures that he was thought of for an award. It's called the Caldecott Award for Excellence in Pictures. So they're very excellent pictures. Okay? Oh, and look how many people love it here at the library. A bazoodle times it's been taken out. Technical word, the bazoodles. Okay, so, okay. Here, when we focus, you can see the raindrops starting to come down. One goes right on the chicken's beak, and some are hitting their feathers, and it's super, super dark clouds. Here we go. On Saturday morning, the rain came down. It made the chickens squawk. Here starts the big craziness. The cat yowled at the chickens and the dog barked at the cat, and still the rain came down. Okay, so if you have a cat, you know when a cat does that they are not happy, right? They get up on their arches like that. And now starts all this noise in the yard. The man yelled at the dog, and it woke up the baby. "Stop all the yelling!" shouted the man's wife. A little bit of irony. Well. The dog barked louder, and still the rain came down. Now, take note. We have the noise from the chickens, from the dog, from the man, from the baby, from the mama, from the TV. Noise, noise, noise. A policeman heard the noise and stopped to see what was wrong. His car was blocking traffic a half a mile away. A woman squirmed in the back of a taxi. Oh boy, let's see what's going to happen. "Hurry up, or I'll miss my plane," she told the taxi driver. So he started honking his horn. Okay, now we have the horn honking, chickens barking, cats and dogs doing what they're doing, yowling and barking. We have the mom and dad yelling. We have the baby crying, TV's on. The truck driver in front of him got mad and started honking back. "I have tomatoes to deliver," he shouted. Now we've got more noise. The ice cream man heard the honking and turned up the music on his van. Right, he's trying to drown everybody out, but now he's making more noise. Jingling went the music. Slap did the slap went his windshield wipers, and still the rain came down. Okay, right? Noise, 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 noise. Get the idea. Raining harder. The owner of the beauty parlor came out to see what all the fuss was about. She bumped into the barber coming out of his barber shop, and they began to argue. Up on his ladder, the painter grumbled, "I can't paint in the rain." He started to climb down and bonked the barber in the head with his can of paint. Now all three of them were arguing. This is quite a neighborhood. This one's quite funny. Well, next, the barber stepped out of his bakery. "My roof is leaking and my cakes are getting wet," he moaned. He opened his umbrella and poked the pizza man in the nose. So they joined in the bickering too. A boy ran by, chasing a small boat down the stream in the gutter. He splashed a little girl and she began to cry, and still the rain came down. We have the family arguing, we have the store owners arguing, we have the cars honking and the music going and the baby crying. The grocery man stomped out of the sidewalk and yelled, "Where is that delivery truck? I need my tomatoes!" He ran into a lady coming out of the clothing store and knocked her boxes into his fruit stand. Oranges, apples, and lemons bounced down the sidewalk, and still the rain came down. This is quite a scene. Look at the cars all backed up. The policeman walked back to his car. "What is all of this ruckus about?" he asked. The whole block was honking, yelling, bickering, and barking, and then, okay, so if you look, here is that trio up here, the three people, the painter, the barber, and the hairdresser. They're arguing. You have the pizza man unhappy. You have the baker unhappy. The fruit stand's a mess. The little boy with the boat, the policeman, all like, what is happening? And then, the rain stopped. And so did the noise. The sun came out and the air smelled fresh and sweet. Everything shimmered and a rainbow stretched across the rooftops. Can you see the rainbow right there? Right there. Finding their pot of gold. "It's much too nice a day to be arguing," said the baker. "I have cakes to bake." "I have pizzas to make," said the pizza man. "I could use a shave while my building dries," the painter said to the barber. Then they went inside. The policeman said, "Everything looks A-OK here to me." And this is a cool picture. Look at the rainbow reflected in his sunglasses. And he drove off in his car. The woman in the taxi decided she had time to have her hair done before her trip, and she went into the beauty parlor. Here's the beauty parlor owner giving a little shush to the woman's hair. So the lady with the boxes got into the taxi and went home. The truck driver told the grocer, "I have your tomatoes." "Wonderful," said the grocer. "But first, I have to pick up this fruit." The little girl and boy helped him, so he bought them an ice cream cone, and the ice cream cone man gave them each an extra scoop because it was such a nice day. And then the man, his wife, and their baby had a picnic together in the backyard while the dog and the chickens slept in the warm afternoon sun. The Rain Came Down by David Shannon. So the day went from like catastrophe, terrible, to everybody getting along and having a great afternoon. All because of the sun and the rain. Things to think about, eh? All right, now speaking of the rain, as we talked about it when we first started, but I went down to our great bookstore here in town. It's really sweet. It's Oliver and Friends. Shout out to Renee. Hello, Renee. And we, friends of the library, we are buddies here at the bookstore and the library. It's perfect. But she had this great book called Rain. Now, speaking of how the rain can influence one's mood, take note. So this little guy, he has his froggy hat on, right? Can you see his little bug eyes from the frog? And he is so happy that it is raining outside. These are their apartment houses in the city where they live. And somewhere near the little boy is this older man, right? You can see his graying hair, and there's pigeons out here, and he says, "Rain." But the little boy sees the rain and he's like, rain! So the man, the grumpy man, says, nasty galoshes. Those are his rain boots. Blasted overcoat. There goes my hair. So the older man, he's just very grumpy. He's not happy and he's not having a good day. And we go to the little boy's house and the mama says to him, it's raining cats and dogs. And then he says to his mommy, it's raining frogs and pollywogs. And then he puts on his frog outfit, right? He's got green boots and he's got a green sweatshirt and his hat. And he says, hippity hop. So now he's using his imagination, pretending he's a frog. And out comes the older gentleman out of his house, and the doorman says, good morning, sir. Hardly dang puddle. Oh, and look, the man, right, the doorman's got the sour, sad face. The man that's unhappy, the older man, he's all scrunched up, unhappy. Here's the little boy's house. Here's their door person. Good morning, young man. Ribbit. Right? So now they're all smiling and he's jumping in the water like he's a happy little frog. All right, so now they're getting ready to go about their day, and the older gentleman goes to get his newspaper. And he's got the grump face, he's all mad, and he says, the man that owns the store says, enjoy your paper. And he says, oh, just more bad news. And then look, everybody is like either like a surprise face, like what's the matter, what's so grumpy, or just not happy face. Now look, here comes the little boy in his now green rain slicker with kind of a frog look to the slicker and his hat and everything. And everybody in this picture is smiling. And the store owner says, how are you, Mr. Frog? Right? And everybody's just having a great time. The little guy says, hoppy, hoppy, hoppy. Instead of saying happy, 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 he says, hoppy, hoppy, hoppy. So they go to the Rain or Shine Cafe, which I think is very funny, right? You can go there whether it's raining or not. Okay, fine. The older man says, finally. He finally gets to go get something to eat in all this rain. And then the mom says, right, we're here. And the little guy, we're here. So the older gentleman goes to the cashier. Coffee, black. He's grumpy and demanding, and she doesn't look very happy. She doesn't look nice and happy to take care of him. And then the little happy guy with his frog outfit says, cocoa and cookies, please. He's smiling, his mom's smiling, the lady that's going to help him will smile. So here comes the waiter about to serve the man his coffee, right? And he's got his hat on the ground. He's just got his grumpy face, and all the people around him, he's made all the people around him kind of feeling bad too. But the little guy and his mom, he says, yum, and the mom says, delicious. And everybody on their side of the restaurant, the Rise and Shine Cafe, they are very happy. Okay, now it's time to go. And this older man says to that little boy, watch out! Oh, that is grumpy. And the little guy says, sorry. So he tries to make the man happy, show him he's got a cookie and he's going to let him have his cookie. And he says, ribbit. But the man leaves and doesn't want anything to do with the cookie or anything. So now the little boy's sad. And he's been happy the whole time. But he notices, he says, his hat. So the little good boy grabs that man's hat and runs out to find him, and he says, hey, wait. Right? He's still got his smile. He's got his frown. And the little boy hands the man his hat. Now notice the man's not got his frown anymore. He's kind of like, just like figuring out what's going to happen. And he says, "That one too." So the older man points to the little boy's frog hat. And the little boy says, "Mine? Like mine hat? You want my hat?" And the man that's been grumpy puts the frog hat on. And look, it makes the little boy laugh. It makes the man laugh. He gives him his hat back, and he does take the cookie from the little boy finally. And look, just that one little thing happens, and now the man who's been so grumpy is very happy. All the people are happy. Here's the little boy waving goodbye to his new friend who's saying, "Yum, this is a good cookie," right? And then the day is great, and here's the doorman again. Remember, this man wasn't very nice. This time he says, "Welcome back, sir." This time, the older man jumps in the puddle and says, "Ribbit." Now, this is a lesson for all of us. Try our best to make the most of every day, because if we're grumpy all the time, then people around us are going to feel grumpy too. Well, this inspired the craft today. Don't be afraid. Get ready. I have my secret I've been holding. Okay, you ready? Okay, I'm going to surprise you when I turn around. 1, 2, 3. It's our craft today. We're going to make our own little frog mask. So in a minute, we'll see you over at the craft table. So ribbit, ribbit. See you in a minute. Ribbit, ribbit. It's just me, Miss Kim, really. Look, I'm just in my mask. Yeah, hang on, I had to put my glasses back on because I can't see without them, really. Oh, there. That's going to be our fun craft this week. Isn't it a blast? So I was so inspired by our story that I made this fun mask. And my favorite part are the eyes. And I've been thinking about reusing, reducing, reusing, and recycling. I've been thinking about that more and more at my house. And so my husband and I drink our coffee in the morning, and we use these little cups. So what I did, instead of, tossing them out, I decided to recycle and reuse them. So I have cut the tops and the bottoms off so that they're all the way open. And then super simple craft this week, but simple's good. So I went ahead and I drew all of the different frog faces for you, just so you had a basis. You could have certainly drawn your own, but I thought it gave you more free time. Anyway, so what you're going to do, with some help, you go ahead and you color yourself till you're happy with what you get. You can be whatever color frog you want to be. Okay, you want to be a blue frog, go for it. Polka dot frog. I can't wait to see them. Then what you're going to do, and you're going to get some help with this. You have 2 of these K-cups, and you want to put them down where it's the smaller circle first. It's pretty evident what you want to do, I would think. Now, I used a glue gun for mine, and that's an instant hold. If you at home have like a glue stick or even a liquid glue, it's just going to take a little longer for it to stick, but just give it time, it will. And once your froggy face is colored the way you want it, the eyes go last, and I won't do it to yours, so I'm just going to show you again what I did on mine. I thought if I just keep the eyes white, it just looked a little like, I don't know, not lively to me. So I just took my green marker and I kept going round and round and round and round on the inside, so that my froggy eyes, those big bulging eyes, had some color to them, right? I still have a ways to go, but you get the idea, huh? Yeah. Okay. And the very last thing, once it's all, I suppose you could do it any darn time, but you go ahead and you're going to have, of course, green, ribbit green. And it's this plastic tie. It's good and strong. And I've gone ahead and I made already the 2 holes in the side. And so you're going to get mom or dad or somebody bigger to help you. And you tie it so that it fits your head. And then you brighten up your day and somebody else's with your fun frog mask. Until next time, Ribbit, see you later.